What is up? So I definitely owe this live. I mentioned it a while back, getting acquisition financing from PayPal. We did close a deal leveraging the financing. So wanted to jump on a quick live and chat with you about that deal. As you come in, please hit the like button. Um, Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. So we're talking about PayPal financing, how you can leverage it, how it works on the back end, and in your acquisitions, but then also how you can leverage it when you're selling a deal, which I think is a unique strategy. So hit the like button, and I'm going to get into the story and say hello. What's up, David? Thanks for popping in. All right, so this was a little while back. We were buying a agency that builds websites, and the cool thing about the business was they worked with a great niche, and the niche had high turnover. And so you basically always had new people in this industry that needed websites. And so it was an awesome little niche, and they had built some really great SEO traffic. So we're in this space, we're doing this deal. And one of the most important questions, what's up, Montreal? One of the most important questions as you guys are looking at businesses is quite simply, what are you planning on doing with the money when you sell the business? And so we did ask this, and the seller said he had a loan. And so one of the things that we do now, partly because of this deal, is we try to find out some specifics around what they're going to do with it if they say that they're paying off financing. So on this one, we just assumed that he had some random loan, and it wasn't a really big deal. And so I was very fortunate. I was flying to the West Coast and was in California. He was close by, flew in literally just for the day to meet him. And we're talking over things. And he mentions that the loan that he has is a PayPal loan. And so I was familiar with how PayPal loans work. It's tied to the account, it's tied to the business. It's not on your personal credit. One of the tough things is if you take over somebody's loan and it's on their personal credit report, it's like, yo, I need to make sure you're making these payments. Hey, if you don't mind, hit the like button, guys, as you come in. What's up, Amari? Thanks for popping in. So, like, if it's tied to their personal credit, it becomes really tough to do some kind of commercial loan takeover as you would if it was something that was purely commercial and not tied to their credit. It's one of the reasons that I'm big on all of you building your business credit, because it's something that can be leveraged when you're buying a business, but again, it can be leveraged when you're selling the business. And so what we're able to structure in this deal was a situation where we're going to have to pay him a lump sum so he can pay off that loan. And, he had some seller financing, obviously, and then we had a down payment. So what we agreed to was like, hey, you're about to take most of this money and just give it to PayPal. Let us take over your PayPal account. We'll keep the funds that are being sold into PayPal right now going into that. The way those deals work is a percentage of the income. So everything's going to remain the same. The income is going to remain the same, blah, blah, blah. And we'll give you a little higher cash down payment. So you get more cash than you're going to get in your pocket initially. But we're going to take over this loan instead of paying it off. So he was a little bit cautious. He eventually agreed, and we were able to take over the PayPal account and take over his loan. And so it was interesting. I was curious if we're going to be able to transfer the LLC. So in order to get these loans, in order to get approved for them, you do need an LLC. And even before this, the reason I was familiar with it was, we've got several businesses that have PayPal accounts. They are under LLCs, obviously, and we get hit up all the time with offers of this financing. And after, just a really great experience, we actually have used it to finance other businesses. Now, definitely take a look at the previous video that I just released in regards to how you should be thinking about debt and financing right now. It's absolutely crucial. But one of the keys to leveraging this is having an entity and an EIN. I was actually surprised when we logged into PayPal on this deal that we were able to change the information on the LLC and the EIN and all that. I actually didn't think we were able to do that. So I'd actually negotiated that we would keep the loan in the account in his company's name until we paid off the loan. So it turns out we were able to switch that. Beautiful. That's why this thing is amazing for acquisitions. It's something that I think may be a glitch. You know, they're not, it's not like they're a bank that's been around for 100 years. That may not be the case. So you may want to still negotiate it or check that you can do that when you're negotiating this kind of deal. But it saved us a bunch of cash to be able to take over his loan and continue to pay that down instead of going in and having to prove it. So just to give you an example, it's like, oh, well, why wouldn't you just do that in your own PayPal account? The thing that PayPal is looking at, and the reason we get these offers in other businesses, is they're looking at the history. So by taking over his PayPal account, it has that history. They're using that history to give you the loan. Like I mentioned in the title, it's no credit check. And it's not filed against your credit, because there's some things that aren't filed on your credit, but even on some of these commercial loans, you'll see people that are talking about, you can get this isn't personally guaranteed and blah, blah. Being personally guaranteed is different than no credit check at all. They're literally not even asking for your credit. So that deal was really awesome. But let's talk about even when you're in the business and you're running the business, and then I'll talk about when you're selling the business. So even when you're running the business, you're getting these offers. And what we found is, if you've got some inventory shortfall or you just need some cash, this is one of the quickest ways to access financing. I was going to say it's like a 10-minute approval. It's more like 5 minutes. I mean, it's like instant. So they know it's algorithm. So they're looking at, okay, you're getting this much transactions, blah, blah, blah. So if you're planning on using this, and I'll talk about the seller aspect in a sec, but if you're planning on using this at all, you want to run as much of your transactions through your PayPal, because that's what they're going to look at in order to give you access to the financing. And so getting quick cash, it's quicker than any bank loan that you're ever going to get. It's quicker than any credit card that you're ever going to get. And they deposit the money. So you get the approval instantly. You're able to choose what percentage, kind of based on your business, and you're basically deciding how long do I want to take to pay this off, versus what the percentage of your revenue is. So if you're a business that has low margins, then you want to make sure you're paying a lower amount. Other businesses, in the agency deal, we had great margins. So I think we were like 30%, maybe even. Not 30% interest, but the interest rate is, they'll tell you what that's going to be, but you can decide how much of your income that goes through PayPal you want to use to pay it off. So you pay it off quickly, stop paying interest, or you pay it off over a longer period of time. The other thing it's not really interest. They just say, hey, here's a repayment fee. And that's how they make their money off of it. Now, the other part that is cool about this, taxes is top of mind. Like I talked about in the last video, everybody's talking about Donald Trump paying $700 in taxes. And I mean, like if it was totally legal, and I'm not trying to pay that much in taxes either, to be quite honest with you. So we want to pay as low as possible in taxes. The benefit to this is like that strike program that I told you guys about. And the cool thing is that they actually just report less of your income to the IRS. And I'm going through, I do extended time, I'm doing a lot of my tax stuff right now. And so all that PayPal income that comes in, what's annoying is they should report the income and the expenses, but they just send the income in, and then it's up to you to go through and say, oh, well, these are the expenses that I had against that income. Is what it is. So that's one of the other benefits. There's kind of that tax benefit there, the similar. Check out the Stripe financing that I talked about. Now let's talk about selling the business the same way, and this is something that we're starting to do now, the same way that we bought that deal and leveraged his financing. One of the things that we're looking at doing is when we sell a business, maximizing the financing that's in place and then being able to go to that buyer and say, listen, I've got this amount of financing in this deal. I need you to make a down payment to me. I want you to do this amount in seller financing / earnout. And then you can take over this company's PayPal account, switch it over to your LLC, switch it over to your EIN number, and you start to make the payments to PayPal based on the business. And so it lowers the amount of cash that they have to come up with. And when you're lowering the amount of cash that your business buyer has to come up with, guess what? They got more cash to give you. So you get that money from PayPal. Let's say you're selling the business, it's a $500,000 business. You really want to get $200,000 down. Your buyer only has $100,000. You go and hit up PayPal. You're like, yo, PayPal, what about giving me $100,000? They look at your history, like, all right, great, we'll give you 100. Payment terms are going to be this. Go to your seller. Good news. Good news. You can give me 100,000. I'm cool with that. Take over this. Take over seller financing. Bloom in this period. Blah blah blah. And that is a win-win situation. So hopefully that is valuable. Thanks for jumping on, Duval. Thanks for jumping on, Julian. Got Montrell. We got Amar. We got David. Hit the like button as we pop out. Check out the other couple videos that I just released on the Financier strategy, on the angel strategy, combined with this PayPal strategy. Man, I'm just giving you guys gold. Just coming on here and giving you straight gold. Thanks. Have a great night. Talk to you all soon.